Well, there it is. Okay. So I'm super excited for those of you joining us tonight. It's not too late to send this out. Get your people on. If you're getting messages from anybody, the password is Thriver, but it is in all caps. That some have the link, some have the code. So that might be one of the issues. And tell them, and if they can't get on, tell them it is being recorded and we will get it out to them later on Thrive Stars YouTube. So super excited tonight. Jamie and Samantha and I have been chatting, talking about, how people get over their stumbling blocks, how, when you jump into this business, it's like, whoa, what do I do? And the number one thing that I love about this business, and that even all my personal promoters have said they love about this business coming on board, is they know from day one, they are not alone. They are connected. We are locking arms. We are doing this together. And if your person that enrolled you is like, hey, here's what we do. Well, they're letting you know that because this has been a proven system that works, so that you don't have to feel like, I don't know what I'm doing. So that is something that we're going to talk about here tonight. I'm really talking about connecting with other leaders, doing three-way chats, three-way phone calls. It's all about validation. I'll kind of just start with a story I've always shared. The reason we do validation is, one, because it works. Two, I don't know why it works. It's like some scientific brain thing, but just think about it. When you're like, for me, my husband, a long time ago, we had dogs that were diggers, and they were constantly digging out. And we were trying all these different tricks to keep them in. And they would dig out just to sit on our front porch. And our neighbors would call us. They'd be like, hey, your dogs are out. We're like, great, thanks. So I had this idea one time, and I told him my idea. He's like, no, that won't work. And I was like, oh, okay. So I kind of just let it go. Like 6 weeks later, he comes in the front door, and y'all know, he knows I tell this story. Y'all adore my husband. But he comes in the front door and he says, man, our neighbor Mike had the best idea ever for the fence to stop the dogs. And I was like, awesome. And as I'm listening, I'm like, I said that like 6 weeks ago and you told me it would work. Well, no, you said, oh, like he kind of like realized, okay, maybe, but he needed to hear it from somebody else in a different way, right? Have you ever had your kids, like, you tell them something over and over, they come home and they're like, Mrs. So-and-so at school said to do this, or we should wash our hands because this. Okay, I've been telling you that for years, or they go to the neighbor's house, and, my son didn't want to join sports when we moved over to this area. And then the new neighbor, he's known her 5 minutes. They're telling him, oh, Wilson Middle has great sports and you should totally join sports. He comes home, Mom, I'm signing up for athletics. I'm like, okay. So, but you get my drift. You see what I'm saying? They have to hear it from other people multiple times, different ways. It doesn't mean that you don't know what you're doing. It doesn't mean that we don't trust you in what you're doing. It just makes it simple. It makes it a duplicatable process. There's actually some other reasons behind that as well, because when you connect with somebody else, if you're ever not available, then that person that they connected to, they already have, even if it's just a one-time message connection, they already have a connection. They could reach up. So if it's Jamie is the promoter, somebody then can say, hey, Jamie, I can't get a hold of my promoter right now. I've got a new person. Can you help me? And Jamie be like, hey, yeah, absolutely. Because that way there is nobody's scared to reach above anymore, because you've already been connected. You've already been introduced. This actually happened to me when my son was going into the hospital about to have surgery. I had a new promoter who was killing it with three-way messages. And I was like, hey, Maria, I need you to be the person right now. I'm about to head into the hospital. And she was like, absolutely. Well, because I already had that message with Christy and Maria. Christy had no issues. Maria jumped in there. Hey, Christy, Amber's on the way to the hospital. I know you already know that, but I'm here for those messages. And so Christy then connected her, so there's just a lot of reasons behind that. And we really wanted to make sure, one, that y'all know the why. A lot of us, if you're like me, you want to know why things happen or why they work or why you tell me to do this. Sometimes I do what I'm told and sometimes I want to know why. But then also we want to kind of do some role play and show you how simple it is. Because sometimes, especially if you didn't come in a three-way call or a three-way chat and you're like, oh, I don't know what they're talking about and I don't know how to do it. Well, once you get over that first one, it's pretty simple from there, but we're going to kind of show you how that is. Okay, Jamie, Samantha, was there anything we were going to touch on before we just kind of jumped right into that? I know I covered like the kickoff.
I think that we were definitely going to mention the fact of that the other really important piece of this connection piece. And guys, I want to just say that if you are hopping on from my team, you know I preach three-way calls. I still do the three-way calls. I put every single person on a three-way call. Kendra Morris, I've been here. August 1st will be 6 years for me. And to this day, I still put every single person on a three-way call with Kendra Morris. I think it's amazing. It always works. It's always a good connection. But here's the other crazy important part is that if you start out by putting your new customer, your new promoter on that three-way call, then they know how easy it is to continue to duplicate. That's what's so incredibly important is if I sign up Sally today as a free customer account, I put Sally on a three-way call with Kendra. Hey, Kendra, it's Jamie. Hey, I've got Sally on the phone. She's getting ready to start her 30-day Thrive experience. Just can you share with her story? Okay, now Sally has heard, oh my gosh, that was so easy. I was just put on a call. Now when Sally decides I love this product, I want to promote this product, I say to Sally, remember when I put you on the phone with Kendra? Super easy. Just pop everybody on the phone with me. No brainer. So whether you're going to use it, we're going to really focus in on the chats tonight. That is our goal. But whether you're using a three-way call or a three-way chat, that's the most important part is that we're making that connection, guys. It doesn't mean, like Amber said, let me reiterate, it doesn't mean you're in trouble. It doesn't mean that you're doing something wrong. It doesn't mean that we don't trust anybody. Heck, again, 5 years, 6 years in this business. Amber, how long for you? And I know you told us when we talked about this, you're still putting every single person on with typically Maria or somebody else. You're always putting somebody on. And Amber's been here even longer than all of us, you know? So let's just kind of get it out of your mind that this is an in trouble thing, or this is, I don't know my stuff. No, you need to remember that you're connecting people to help them. You're giving them another person to come alongside and make their journey with the Thrive experience fantastic. It doesn't make you look like you know less or anything like that. I mean, there are still so many times where all I say is, oh my gosh, Sally, I just want you to hear my friend Kendra's story. Sally knows I've been thriving for 6 years. She's been following me on Facebook and at my kids' school for 6 years. Sally knows, but it's just another person for Sally to connect with. And 9 times out of 10, you guys, they're going to tell the upline way more than they're telling you. So many times, I can't tell you how many times I'm on a call with Kendra and I'm like, I told her that she shouldn't be I told her exactly how to mix up that last mix, Kendra. And Kendra's like texting back, I know you told her, but they always hear it from somebody else better or more and more clearly. So that's, those are all the whys on why this is important. If you don't believe your personal upline has been telling you this, please believe Amber and Sam and I, who've been doing this a long time and we're still continuing to do this. Please trust us. It works every single time. So just trust that it's going to work. I know it's a little bit scary sometimes. And I will tell you this, it's only awkward if you make it awkward. So we're going to walk you through exactly how to word things, the verbiage, the whole 9 yards. So it's not awkward. So it doesn't feel weird. And the first thing I'm going to tell you is don't tell your customer that you're putting them in a chat. Do not. That's the first thing that makes it awkward. Can I put you in a chat with my upline? No, I don't want to talk to your upline. I have no desire to talk to your upline. No, thank you. Goodbye. I'm not ordering the Thrive experience. Can I put you in? I know you're having problems with your Thrive experience. Can I let you chat with my upline? No, I don't want to chat with your dang upline, so don't tell them. That's the first thing the first rule is, do not tell them that you are connecting them. You just do it. Trust us as your uplines. We're going to make them feel like there are BFFs. Okay. I promise you that we'll become BFFs by the end of the chat. So
Jamie, I'm going to jump on that really quick on what you just said. I'm going to validate what you just said because I don't know if any of you get this, but a lot of times it's if you ask permission, and we're not talking about don't ask permission, ask forgiveness, like because they're not going to be mad at you, but it is that something in our brain, that fight or flight. If you've ever gone through like a car sales situation where they lock you in a small room and there's multiple car salesman managers and whatever coming in and surrounding you, because there's great dealerships and there's not so great dealerships. And if anybody's ever had that experience, when you say, hey, let me get you on the phone with my upline, they immediately go, no, no, no. Like their brain, it's that fight or flight. It's that, no, your upline is just going to sell me. And that's not what we're doing. So it's not that you're tricking them by saying, or by not telling them, it's just how we introduce people. Like, hey, this is my friend Jamie. I wanted you to hear Maria's story. Maria, would you share your experience with Jamie really quick? She's actually asking some questions. It's that simple. And every single time, y'all, I have never had anybody mad at me. Every single time at the end of the message or at the end of the call, they always say, oh my gosh, thank you so much. I loved hearing her story. It sounds so much like me. Or, oh my gosh, because of this, so they're always thankful. Sorry to interrupt you. I just had to kind of add that in.
Totally agree. So I'm going to throw it back to you so we can get this party started.
Okay, so I'm going to set up the situation. So we're going to pretend that this is through a message. And I am the promoter. Samantha is my newest potential. She's asked some questions about Thrive. We're going to do a couple role plays for y'all. This is the first one because this is most typical. So she is my newest potential, asking a few questions, and Jamie is my upline. So we're just going to go ahead and jump right onto that. All right. We're going to pretend like I'm doing a message. And so here's something I recommend as well. We love using voice memo. Voice memo is so much better than typing things out because people don't read your emotions. They don't read your passion. But I will tell you, and everybody's different, but the way that I start mine is I do put some type in there before I voice, just because Samantha might be like, oh, that's weird. Like she added me with somebody and there's a voice. Like, so I always just say, hey, Samantha, hey, Mari. And I do like a little wave, that little hand wave. And then I record my voice memo and this is what I would say. Hey, Samantha, I just wanted you to hear my friend Maria's story. Maria's actually who introduced me to Thrive. We've actually become really good friends ever since, but she's got a great story. Samantha had a couple questions and I just knew that you would be able to help with that. And I wanted to connect the two of you. Maria, would you share your story with Samantha? And that's where I start. Oh, sorry, Jamie. I said Maria.
So
I'm so used to it.
I'm going to share my story, not Maria's. So
Jamie.
I would jump right in and I would read the message, whether you want to write it out or voice memo it. But I always voice memo back as the upline. I voice memo back. And I always say, oh my gosh, I'm super excited that you are interested in the Thrive experience, Sam. I started Thriving about 6 years ago. I was hearing about Thrive for months and saying no, I was not interested. I was super skeptical. But after seeing all these people having such great results all over social media, I thought, well, what do I have to lose? I was exhausted. I was drinking way too much coffee every single day. So I ordered and I felt absolutely nothing for the first 9 days, which only led to more skepticism. But by day 10, I woke up and it was like somebody had turned on a light switch. I felt fantastic. It was the first day in as long as I can remember that I never thought about coffee and I never thought about a nap. And that was awesome. So here we are 6 years later and I'm still sleeping like a baby every night. I've got great energy throughout the day. I've lost weight. I mean, the list can go on and on and on. So there's my story. I would love to hear what questions you have and kind of what drew your eye to Thrive. All you, Sam.
Well, hey guys, I'm jumping in here as the customer, and so I would love to talk about what it feels like to be that customer. So, like for all of us, like if you actually knew like how successful the leaders are coming in, you would be intimidated. But these people don't know Jamie or Amber. They don't know the person that you're bringing in. They don't know that it's your upline because you introduce them as your friend. This is my friend. That way they don't feel like, it's part of your job. So Amber did a great job introducing Jamie. And so for me, Jamie just spoke to me like a friend. She just told me her story like we were sitting down at brunch together, and she just, I mean, obviously that was really fast-winded, but she knows her story because she's shared it so many times. And for me, like as the customer, I always think of it as going to a restaurant as a customer. If you sit down and your waitress is like all over the place and spitting out all the prices of the menu and kind of flustering, you feel as a customer like, oh boy, this is going to be just great. But if your customer or your server comes to you and they're like, you know what, this is my first day, so just bear with me. Then you as the customer feel like, okay, this girl's new. We're going to give her time to get, if she, we'll give her grace because it's her first day on the job, right? So, even if you've been here for as long as these ladies or myself, I've been here 5.5 years, I still pretend like I'm new, and I still introduce people to my friends because they've been doing this a lot longer than me. And the customer appreciates that. Just be honest and say, like, I've got my friend with me because, she's been doing this a lot longer than me. So her story, she has a longer story than I do. So she's going to have an even better experience than me. And you just edify that person before they come in, just like Amber did with Jamie. So as the customer, like, notice what they didn't do. Like, Jamie hopped in, Jamie told her story, and Amber didn't say, but wait, Jamie, can you talk, she has a question about this. She didn't interrupt Jamie. She didn't say, well, Sam is feeling XYZ and her question is this. She gave Jamie no information except, can you share your story? And it's when you do that as a customer, it gives them a voice. Like, you want the customer to have a chance to have a voice to share their story. You guys, I learned this in cosmetology school when I was 16 years old. Everyone's favorite subject is themselves. They want to talk about themselves. Notice if you are in a group photo and you go to look to see if it looks okay, who's the first person you look for? Yourself. You want to make sure you look good. Everyone's favorite subject is themselves. So when you hop in to create this conversation, this third-party validation, you want to make sure that you are letting your guest, your customer, your potential person speak for themselves, because that is going to make them more confident in talking about what they need. And just like, I think it was Amber who said it, or Jamie who said, like, people will say things you never knew because maybe it was asked a different way, or maybe they're too close to you and they're too comfortable with you to share with you like what kind of medications they might be on that you didn't know about, or something like that. So just think about how the customer would feel if you hopped in and interrupted Jamie introducing herself. Now that Amber's created this, now I'm comfortable to hop back in here and be like, oh my gosh, Jamie, thank you so much for sharing that with me. I just saw Amber, her sticker, I don't know what she's doing. She's running around with all this energy and I'm so tired and I just want to feel like that. I don't know how to get started. Like, what do I do if I want to feel like Amber, and you, now that I've heard your stories, I want to feel like that too. And then I'll let you go, Jamie, from there.
So at this point, I think it's a really good message here is that Amber is not jumping back in. Amber has now connected Sam and I. So she is not jumping back in. I will jump back in. And so there are times, guys, where the promoter gets busy. So maybe Amber would send me a quick text message and say, hey, my girl messaged back. Can you jump in there? She's not jumping in to say, oh, Jamie's so busy, because we aren't so busy. Don't say we're so busy. We don't want to ever be so busy for anybody. We want them to feel like they're our number one priority. So you may need to message your promoter back and say, hey, my girl messaged in there. She has some questions for you. So I want to make sure that that you realize that Amber is not jumping back in as the connector. She is not. So I would jump back in and say something to the effect of, Gosh, Sam, that is a great question. So Thrive is 3 simple steps. It's super easy. It's 1 to 2 capsules before your feet ever even hit the ground in the morning. About 20 minutes later, you drink this really delicious lifestyle mix, put on a sticker, and you're good for the day. It's so simple. We ship in 30-day increments. We're about $5 a day. So it works out to $150. I would, at that point, guys, so sidebar, at that point, maybe if Amber is my level 1, I may be offering Sam free shipping that day. I may be saying, or I have $10 off. If I know Amber is running a personal promotion, I may say something to the effect, I know my team really, really well. So I know who is offering promotions. So I would say, if you're ready to get your order placed today, I know that Amber is running a personal promotion. So I'll let Amber hop back in and share her promotion. And it's so easy to order. Amber can walk you through it right away. So any other questions that I can answer for you?
Yeah, my question is like, that's an okay price to like get started, but what if I like $150 is a lot to invest every single month? Like, that is it every month that I have to order, or like I need more information on the cost before I go there?
Yeah, such a great question, Sam. So it's $5 a day, $150 a month, but this is super cool. So as a customer or as a promoter, it's absolutely free. You probably have a free customer account from Amber right now, and it's free to be a customer and it's free to be a promoter. The product costs exactly the same for customers as it does for promoters. And you can get your product completely for free by referring 2 people who order on AutoShip in 1 calendar month as a customer or as a promoter. And then just a little bit of info for you. If you're interested at all, the difference between a customer and promoter is that as a promoter, you have the opportunity to earn a weekly commission check. So not trying to give you a second job or anything, but if that's something that you're interested in, we can totally chat about that as well.
Awesome. Well, I am so excited and I just want to get my Thrive experience started. Thank you, Jamie, for sharing your story with me. I am ready to place my order.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for you, Sam. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait to hear how your Thrive experience goes. And please know that Amber is absolutely amazing. She's been doing this a long time and she is going to help you all the way through. And know you can hop back in here and connect in this chat anytime. I'm always happy to help with anything that you need.
Awesome. And then that's where then I would say, hey, Samantha, I'm going to private message you and help you get that order placed. I do want to say a couple things. One, if someone asked in the chat, what do you do if the customer doesn't reply? Well, there's a couple of reasons sometimes that happens. One, Facebook, if Messenger, sometimes where it'll pop up and say you're not connected to one of the members, well, that means that it probably went to their others box. So you want to like private message them and say, hey, will you check your others box in your Messenger? Because I just connected you with my friend Jamie and I wanted you to just hear her story. It's real simple and they just go, oh, I found it, something like that. That's usually part of it. Jamie, what is some other, like, if that's not the reason that they're not responding, what do you suggest?
So I would always do a second round outside of that group chat with my customer and say, hey, did you see that I put you into a group chat? I've never had that happen. So that's interesting. I've never had that. I've never had somebody not respond, but I would say something like, I grabbed my friend. I just wanted you to hear her story. She voice memoed her story for you. Just take a listen. Let me know if you have any questions. And they may not want to talk, but at least you've made that connection with them. That's so incredibly important that you've made the connection, because guys, at the end of the day, even the person who does not want to be connected, is going to love the Thrive experience. And 6 months from now, decide they want to promote and they're going to go, crud, how do I do this? I don't know the answers to any of these questions. So again, just then you circle back with them 6 months later and say, remember when I put you in that chat with my friend Amber? It doesn't even need to be your upline, nothing like that. It's just a friend that you're connecting them with. And then the beauty of this chat, guys, let's move it on a little bit further into this and then I'll shut up. But let's remember, guys, just a little step further in this is that they get their Thrive experience. So now at this point, Sam has her Thrive experience, and let's say Sam doesn't feel good on day 3. The beauty of it is Sam and Amber are talking on the side. They're not talking in this chat. They're talking on the side. Amber's checking in. Amber can get back on that chat and say, oh my gosh, Jamie, Sam is struggling. She's not feeling good. Can you give her some advice? And then I can jump on and say, hey, Sam, what's going on? Kind of fill me in and let me understand what's going on. You guys, there are a plethora of things that we can make changes to. 9 times out of 10, if my team is getting me on, if the person needs balance, if they need men's capsules, if they need a different DFT, I'm sending it out of my stuff that's all on my shelves. I'm sending it because they've connected the person. I want the person to trust me. I never want somebody to spend $150 and not feel amazing. And so that's one more reason to make sure that you're connecting, because if they need any adjustments at all, we can help do that and facilitate that and get them product should they need different product or a change of product or something. So all of those things are super important. So I do want to say, and I saw your text message, Sam, and then I promise I'll be quiet. So guys, it can become a lot. And if you are like me and Amber and Sam, you get put in a lot of text messages. The other morning, I woke up to 12. One girl did a post about mini experiences and had 12 people respond to her mini experience. So I woke up that morning to 12 chats. That can become a lot, very time consuming. And keep in mind, Facebook Messenger only lets you talk for 60 seconds. I can share my story in 56 seconds. As you heard, I can say it very fast, but I cannot share how to use a mini experience or how to start your Thrive experience in 60 seconds. So then it's a bunch of messages. And then the person looks at the thing and goes, man, that's a lot of messages. Oh, that's a lot to listen to. Okay. So I'm going to give you, and I will not take the credit for this, because I promise you every single thing that I learned in this business, I've learned from somebody who's been here longer than me. So Carrie Ann Webb shared this with me, and you guys probably already know this, but keep in mind I'm old, and so I don't use my cell phone the way that young people do. So there's an app called Voice Memos that comes with your phone. Looks like this, Voice Memos. So you can go in and record as many voice memos as you want. So I went in and recorded my sharing my story. I changed it. I called it sharing my story. And there's my voice memo for sharing my story. I have one that says how to take your mini experience. I have that I have that message. How to starting your Thrive experience for people who don't start on a mini, who just order. I have all of those recordings saved. When you click on the recording, there's 3 little dots. This is on an iPhone. I'm not exactly sure on Android. There's 3 little dots, and you can actually click the 3 dots, click share, and you can share it in a text message, or you can share it into Facebook Messenger. It is beautiful, and it saves so much time. So I strongly suggest getting that down. Now, if you are kind of new and you're like, okay, I'm at 12K and I'm going to start this with my team, I'm really going to get my team going on this, please record those and send them to your upline. Have your upline listen. That's super important, that you sound like you have a ton of energy, that you are feeling confident, that your story is on point, that you're not rambling on. Allow your upline to give you constructive criticism on that. They will. We all want to help our teams grow. So your uplines will do that for you. Send it to a couple, and please don't get hurt when we give you constructive criticism. We want to make it the best we can make it. My last advice, while you're recording it, walk. Stand up and walk. You have way more energy when you're standing up and walking and smiling like you're super excited, because it's changed our lives and it's given us energy and we feel good. So there you go. Those are all my pieces of advice tonight. Back at you, Amber.
Yes. And I want to touch back on the message thread itself. If this has taken place, like say, okay, Jamie's told her story, Samantha's ready, whatever, but Samantha private messages me and doesn't respond in that group anymore, that just means that she's not comfortable sharing all the things there, and that is totally fine. So don't force going back to the group. Do the private message one-on-one with your potential. They've already heard the validation. There's no reason, unless it becomes a troubleshooting thing, or it becomes, hey, she wants to be a promoter, or things like that, then you go back to that group, or you go back for connection. Everything does not have to happen in that group thread. So don't push somebody back in that doesn't want to be in, and they're subtly saying they don't want to be in just by only talking to you from that point on. So that's just one of my tips and tricks. Samantha, do you have any other tips and tricks to add before we wrap this up?
I just want to kind of touch base about a lot of people, like personally on my team, they are terrified of group chats. I just want to let you guys know, like, take a deep breath and know that we want to help you. I want to help. Jamie wants to help. Amber wants to help. I can guarantee you, whoever brought you into this business wants to help you. So don't ever feel like you're bothering us. And it's so much easier and faster for you to learn when you're in a group chat instead of, okay, all right, Amber, my girl is asking me, she works third shift, so she needs to know when to take her Thrive experience. Well, instead of me answering and going back and forth, if we just create the chat, not only does that person get the information, but then you know in the future. It's just a faster way to learn, especially as a new person. I know this group is, soaring to 4K and 12K and beyond and reclaiming. And so this whole Zoom is just to bring you back to the basics. Nobody expects you to know everything. Please don't feel like you have to know it all to get started. You don't have to know anything. All you have to know is how to create a group chat, hop in there and just flat out say, hey, I'm the new girl. Like, you don't have to say I'm the new girl, but just be like, you guys, this is my friend Amber. She's been thriving a lot longer than I am. So I'm so excited about your questions, and I'm going to let her kind of share her story, and you can ask her questions from there. And then, whoever you're bringing in is going to be friendly, excited and thriving. So it's just going to show your potential person what the Thrive experience is all about. A lot of people need more than just a product. They need this community. And so, once they feel like they're a part of something, that might be what it takes for them to order. I always say it's so much more than a product. It's a product and a person. So don't hesitate to introduce your new potential people to your people. So, all right, that's all I have to say.
Well, and I'll touch on that. I think we kind of sort of mentioned this in the beginning, but that same scenario that Samantha was just talking about, if I'm just answering all of her questions, whether it's I'm texting and answering, or getting the message and answering back, whenever Samantha thinks, man, I really want to be a promoter. I think I could do this. I really love this product, but gosh, Amber knew everything. Like, she knew everything. There's no way. I don't have time. I'm a busy mom. I'm a busy hairdresser. I do not have the time to learn all the things she learned, because she doesn't know that all those questions were being answered behind the scenes. So it's really simple for them to go, man, I really could use this extra income. I'm a busy wife. I'm a busy mom. I'm a busy hairdresser. And wow, that was so simple what she did. I mean, is that all you do, is just connect with somebody else? I could do that. Like, you're duplicating how simple this could be for when those people, one, are going to thrive for free, and two, want to be a promoter. So Jamie, any last tidbits from you?
Oh, the very last one that I would say, well, I'm later on in August, I'm doing another Zoom kind of on this sort of topic, but keep in mind, guys, you do not have to go to the person your personal promoter. Work up your line. Kendra Morse I'm a 6 or a 7 to her, and I go to her for everything. I'm like a 13 to Mike Page, and I will put him in chats. So keep in mind that you don't have to go with the person who enrolled you. If you are a level 12 to Amber's still going to help you. So keep that in mind. If you're feeling like, gosh, my person is not going to connect with this person, go higher. I always encourage my team, hey, if I'm not a good connection, here are all the people in our line that are a great connection. And that's the beauty of this community that we have with Le-Vel. So never ever worry that, oh gosh, I don't feel like they were a good connection. I don't want to put her with her. That no biggie. That's why we have a lot of other people. So keep that in mind too.
And you can use your downline as well. You can use your team. I know there are certain people, like Natasha is in my team, but when people have some serious nutritionist questions, like, I am putting them in a chat with her, because she has a nutrition background, like she knows those things. So I'm like, hey, Natasha, and I always ask permission of the promoter. I always say, hey, I've got somebody that's really picking in on the nutrition side. Can I put you in a chat with them? Absolutely. So like, you don't want to use your downline like all the time, the same person over and over, because it's not benefiting them and you're taking up their time of growing their business. But there are people that you just yin and yang better with, that you connect better with, and you can reach out for those certain specific times. And that is totally fine as well. So, all right, guys, this was fabulous. And we kept it short and sweet. We're so excited. The recording will be on Team Thrive Stars YouTube channel. Guys, don't overthink it. It really is simple. The simplicity of the product, the simplicity of our free to join business, the simplicity of connecting. Like, we are all about simple. It's not that, hey, it's easy to do this job. It's just simple if you just do it. So thanks so much. Thank you, Jamie. Thank you, Samantha. And guys, you're growing your business just by being on here. So no, go take it and go apply. Bye.